and I've been, in many an argument. I almost got in a fight in the Boston airport one time when I flew out.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
No, guys surrounded me, man. It was when the Lakers. I mean, it was before your days, but when it was 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, 2010 game.
Well, we won
5.
What was the fight?
All these guys who just I was all lakered out, and they came up and they were just sweating me hard, and I was just like, go Lakers. And they were saying, well, remember when you had the confetti in the game, the confetti game, and you couldn't release the confetti? And I was just like, the Celtics suck. The Lakers didn't go home, win game 6 and game 7. I'm ready to start this thing.
Let's do it.
Are you going to start it? Are you the MC?
I'm going to start it. This is just his house. Thank you, Ryan, for graciously letting us use your house. We need somewhere near these guys.
Well, I'm just I was driving over here and I was thinking, this isn't for kids, right? This podcast. Is it for kids?
No.
Because sometimes I just cuss, it just comes out.
Yeah,
because I was about to, because of just the way I speak. But the thing that I always think about, and I love basketball. And for me, being a musician, it feels the same to me. I grew up playing basketball every day. I was never good. But so my question is how the fuck, how do you guys get so good at basketball? What's really curious to me is you guys are elite athletes, right? At what point?
That's debatable.
Well, I know you're always yearning and trying to get better, and you're climbing a mountain of skill always, right? To be good. But at what point, little Jake and little Austin, when you're a kid, do you have that feeling that you're driven so powerfully to give so much to something to get that good?
I think mine was I have a great delusional confidence. You have to have that as a professional athlete. I think J.R. Smith was telling a story one time, and he was I think it was Amon Shumpert, and he was the majority of professional athletes have screws loose. You're not 100% there mentally. You have to be delusional. You have to be overly confident every day to go compete like that. So I feel at a young age, my family, instilled that into me because everything we did was competitive. My brother used to just beat the shit out of me at everything. I never won anything. My parents never let me win anything. So that kind of just, built that fire in me at a young age, and then, just continue to get better, stayed in the gym a lot.
Do you have it with everything in your life?
Confidence?
Yeah. I know you have it with golf. So we know 2 things you have it with.
I would say the majority of sports, yeah. But I'm also like I said, an insane competitor. Anything, we had a little team thing the other day at the beach and we played spike ball. First time I ever played, but it wasn't sweet.
But it's not delusional though, because you got into the NBA, you didn't get drafted. You come into the Lakers. I've watched every second that you have played in a Laker uniform. And it's you just came in from the beginning, brimming with confidence, but it wasn't delusional because you could do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think that I give, LeBron and AD a lot of credit for that, especially because they were 2 people from day one was just be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else on the court, especially, but they were off the court too. So that made me feel super comfortable because I don't go out, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I really just love to hoop and play golf. Yeah. And so they never was telling me I had to do this or had to do that, especially when it came to basketball. They just told me to be myself. So at the end of the day, I've played basketball, since I was 10 years old. So it's all the same thing at the end of the day.
Awesome.
Where'd yours come from, Jake?
Honestly, it's kind of very similar to him. I was very overly confident growing up in everything I did, regardless what the sport was. Even if I was bad at the sport, I was confident in it. I was talking shit, whatever it was. That's just kind of how I grew up. I grew up with a crazy competitiveness. My family was very competitive, whether we were playing cards or sports or whatever it was. There was always that competing to it. And that's kind of what I fell in love with basketball, was just that competing aspect. But, once I picked up the ball, I just never put it back down. I fell in love with it, fell in love with the grind, working hard, making shots. It's all, every aspect of basketball is so fun to me. And that's kind of just what's fueled me to the point I'm at.
I remember Chatham in high school for me was the first
Tell us about it. Let's get into it.
No, we don't have any video, any footage of that. But I'm psyched to have all you guys in my house.
I wanted to ask about your. We've already gone over this with Austin so much, so we're not going to get too much into his background stuff. But some of your background, because I feel like the NBA junkies, the Memphis fans, the SAC fans, they've watched you play. Laker fans, they're about to kind of experience the Jake experience for the first time. But if we were to go back, even just to high school, like when did you grow? When did the jump start to happen?
Yeah, so I was a guard pretty much growing up. I was 5'10" my freshman year of high school, and then my freshman to sophomore year, that summer I grew to 6'5". So like that was kind of like my crazy growth spurt, and then I started playing like more the wing position. I didn't play varsity really till my senior year of high school. Had a breakout year, committed to Southern Illinois, Edwardsville, and they had ended up firing their coach. So I went back to the transfer portal. Indiana State was the first to reach out, committed to Indiana State, went there for 2 years, did well. Coach got fired again after my second year, and hit the portal, committed to Wake Forest, had some big games against big schools. There was a big thing during my pre-draft about my age, which kind of like, how like age is one of the biggest things in the draft. And if you're older, then
Fuck the draft.
We have a great example right there. But like all over Google and stuff, it said I was 22 years old, but I was only 20. So like when, me and my agents had found that out, we got on that instantly. And like literally as soon as we put out that I was 20 years old, I got on every like draft board. I got on every mock draft, and like even some teams didn't actually know how old I was. So
usually that happens like Dominican relievers. That's fucking wild.
Insane. I looked it up one day and I was like, how old is Jake LaRavia? He said 22. I'm like, I'm not 22.
For like a draft prospect, it's an American kid
Who did that? Like,
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. Google. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, that kind of like screwed me until the age got changed, and then I was kind of all over, and everyone was good. And I got drafted 19th and played in Memphis and played in Sacramento a little bit last year. But I'm excited to be in LA.
Do you think being in Memphis, and we sort of know this from some of the guys who've been on that particular team, there's just a lot of fucking assholes. There's a lot of tough guys. You've a new teammate now who we'll get to, who played in that experience as well, Marcus. But it's like it's a place that breeds. You step into that locker room and there's sort of like there's nothing that you're not going to leave there unless you have a certain attitude. Do you feel like that was a benefit for you with sort of your welcome to the league moment?
Yeah, I mean, the Memphis team that I played on my first year was kind of like that up and coming, like just dogs. They had just lost to Golden State in the playoffs the year before. That was like Dylan Brooks, like villain era. Like he was coming into his own, but like it was really just a bunch of young dogs like that. We were growing up with each other.
Is that the whoop that trick game?
Yeah, that whoop that trick.
It was a good team.
We did the little dance out to the court every game. But honestly, I really did enjoy it. Like that group of guys was really good. We were all around the same age because like, again, our vet was probably, Dylan Brooks or Steven Adams, who were still, they were both, I think maybe year 7, year 9. But outside of that, it was like Ja was only in like year 4 or 5. Dez was in year 3 or whatever. And Jaren was even early on still. So it was just like a group of dogs that was just out there on the court competing every night.
Do you have a Steven Adams story?
I mean, the dude is just like an animal. Like he would walk around the facility barefoot with steaks in his hand, eating steaks. He only eats meat. He only eats meat.
Anything else.
Steak in both hands, eating both. But yeah, that dude's one of the strongest guys I've ever been around. Just like brute strength. Like it's crazy.
Where'd y'all meet?
I remember, so throughout his whole like college talk, I was just thinking about that. My roommate at OU, Alondis Williams, transferred to Wake Forest. And I remember he called me one day on FaceTime. You got to know him. He's hilarious. He's crazy as shit. He called me and he was like, "Hey, I got another white boy that's cold as fuck." And I was like, "Okay, cool, blah, 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 blah." So I would watch their games to watch, Mehmet or Alondis. And yeah, I seen him and I was like, "Oh, he's like actually nice." And so like I got to know him a little through Alondis, and then when he signed with the agency, it's kind of just, after that we become to know each other.
Let me ask you guys about this. This is a thing, being someone who's, a basketball fan, I watch everything. And it's the thing that I'm most fascinated with. And it relates to music, it relates to art, it relates to film, it relates to literature, to everyone I know who's trying to be the very best that they can be. And it's getting to that place that I hear it referred to in basketball as the zone, but it's for everybody. It's a place beyond thought. And to me, when I think about it, it's like you get your mind out of the way, you get every distraction out of the way, just like you, and you're letting God speak through you, kind of like in that place of emptiness when you're really, and it's when you're most alert, it's when you're most connected, it's when you're anticipating what everyone's going to do, you know what I mean, the most acutely. And I wonder, is that something that you work towards getting to? Is it something that you think about? But I know you know what it's like to be there because I've seen you there.
Yeah, I think all athletes want to live in that space. I think that's the greatest feeling in any sports. Anything you do really is when you get into that flow state where everything's working. Shots that, probably aren't great shots that they're going in, passes are getting through, like everything's working the right way. You definitely want to live in those moments more. I think I heard Bron talking about that one time. Like, I think he was talking about, what was it, Game 6 against Boston, in Boston, and he just, I think he had 50 or whatever. So it was just like, he was like, I was trying stuff. He was like, I was doing things that I don't actually normally do. And he was like, but I was in such a zone, a flow state that he was like, everything was working. So like I said, I think all athletes, whatever the sport is, you try to get to that spot as much as you can.
Yeah, I would love to be there every night.
Yeah.
I'd love to be there every night.
You can't control it, though. It's almost like when the spirits are on your side, or you're in a place where you, like, to me, it's like trust, when you can trust yourself. Like, as a musician, you can always be thinking, like, as an improvising musician, well, I'm going to try this. I'm going to go to a darker tone here, or be more dissonant or angry or more beautiful or whatever it is. But you can't control getting there.
For sure.
But you always want to be there.
100%.
Yeah. And I guess, like, I don't know, people like have certain techniques to try to get there, to try to get to that place. And I feel like for anyone in any field, so, I don't know.
When did you first think about it?
Not consciously, but you know what I mean? Because you don't know. But for me, like if I'm sitting by myself and I'm playing, blowing my trumpets in the piano, whatever, it's like the drool test. If I see I'm drooling, I'm like, oh shit,
I'm in a
doing
good
something
spot.
Good.
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing.
Usually that's a bad sign.
I'm hypnotizing myself.
They'll call it the drool state. The drool state. Yeah.
I actually heard a story about Kawhi the other day.
I heard one too.
I'm not talking about that. I don't know. I don't want no part of whatever's going on. But
Clipper curse. It's eternal.
Someone was telling me when he works out, like he'll like miss a couple shots and he'll get mad, like he'll start biting his tongue. And they say once he starts biting his tongue, he'll make like 60 shots in a row. It's like you said, like it's like your drool phase. Once he starts biting his tongue, it's like he don't miss. I was like, that's interesting, but it's crazy.
I wanted to ask, like, I don't know, maybe this is trying too hard, but when you're an athlete and you'll see like anybody who's a little kid, you'd go like, I'm going to practice that move, and like sometimes it happens, but it's just a lot of times just like I might not have the same hip alignment. I may not have that kind of stuff. When you're a musician and you're like, again, I'm going deep into the catalog, but like you're going, I don't know which bass players were your favorite. I don't know if it's like a Stanley Clarke or Jaco Pastorius or that kind of stuff. And you're like, I want to sound just like that. But there's so much feeling when you're at that elite level. Like, is it a fight when you realize I can't match it perfectly, or is it something where the greatness in what you do is you finding out how to get to this peak that's different than everybody else?
I just always wanted to be myself.
You did a good job with that, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I never. It's funny that you asked that because I've never been insecure as a musician. I was also like delusional. Like I don't care if I'm playing one fucking note. I'm going to play it with every fiber of my soul. You know what I mean? Like just give everything I got and everything that I do. But recently I made a jazz record, like a solo album, playing trumpet. I wanted to be a jazz trumpet player when I was a kid. And I was stepping out of my comfort zone. You know what I mean? Like there's so much ego on rock music. We're selling out, giant stadiums all over the world. You're so great, you're so great. Oh yeah, please, another million, please. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so ego driven.
For sure.
But I went and made this jazz album, And it's a very cerebral, sophisticated music. And I've got these guys to play with me that are so good. And I was terrified. Like for the first time, never scared of music. I was going into it, I was like, I'm scared. They're going to make fun of me behind my back. They're only going to think they're going to be doing it for a paycheck, not for the, you know what I mean? And I got in a room with them and like we connected really beautifully and it was so great. And I realized like, it's not about, and I think it's like this in sports too, maybe. I don't know if you guys, but like I was talking to someone, like one of these guys, I know he's a very evolved musician. He was like, look, we're all on this mountain, climbing this mountain. And some of us are higher up, like you have like these virtuosos, you know, John Coltrane or Charlie Parker at the top of the mountain or Stevie Wonder. And we're all climbing it, you know what I mean? But it's a beautiful mountain and we're on it and we're working. So it was such a beautiful way to think like, yeah, let's fucking rock this shit. Let's do this. You know, it's not about like, you know, who's better or who's not better, you know, working together to make something happen. So, yeah.
That was a great answer. But the funny thing is you kind of can't ever accept that. Like for what he's talking about, like his journey, you're competing, Flea, but kind of not really in the way these guys are,
different.
Right?
It's different.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not on my team, good luck to you. I mean, I've created some friendships in the league. When I first came in the league, I knew Landry Shaman. He was my roommate at Wichita State. Other than that, I didn't know anybody. So it's like, it's at the end of the day, it's competition, and I want to win. If we win, we get paid. You know, I want to win championships. But when it comes to, you know, stepping in between the lines, like none of that really matters.
Do you see similarities in the dynamic between a locker room and a band in terms of the interpersonal dynamic?
Well, I don't know. I've never been in an NBA locker room. But for us, it's, you know, I mean, we just did a 2-year-long tour. You know, I've been touring my entire adult life, or even before I was an adult. And there's times when everyone's getting along and it's great. And it's like you can live within this thing that's beautiful. You're all family. You love one another. But sometimes, you know, someone's pissing you off. You know, they're pissing you off. You think they're being hypocritical. You don't respect what they're doing. You think they're dishonest or whatever. And it's different. You know, that's when it's hard. So for me, it's all about, you know, when you can have that togetherness, and I don't know how hard that is on a sports team, but it can't be all getting along all the time. I mean, there's just no way.
No, for sure. I mean, I think that's the, you know, one of the beauties about, you know, team sports is like, you're not always going to see eye to eye. You're going to get into arguments. And I think that stuff is healthy. Like, I think once you have a team that can confront each other, I can come up to Jake and be like, hey, you fucked this up. Or he could come to me and be like, nah, I don't think I did. Like, when you have that communication and that dialogue, that's when I feel like you can get really, really good. But like, if you're kind of, you know, beating around the bush, trying not to, you know, hurt anybody's feelings, then at the end of the day, like, you can't be, you know, up front with one another, then you're not going to be as good as you want to be.
And I would say it's more so like communication on the court. Cause like, even like from a college standpoint, it's going to be different. Like that locker room is going to be different than a professional locker room because, you know, now dudes is grown men, they got families, they got kids. Like you're not hanging out on, like in college, you know, you're hanging out on the court or off the court with your teammates every day. Like you're probably just going over to someone's apartment or whatever it is. But like, that was the first thing like I noticed in the league was just like, oh shit, like dudes don't really hang out with each other like no more. So like you got to really just, you know, get those relationships in the locker room. Like, so you do have to be able to communicate well with your team. But like Austin was saying, it's not always sweet, you know, like there's going to be battles.
What about like emotional life in general relating to playing the basketball? Because such a sensitive game. I mean, a matter of, you know, you're in your rhythm, you know, but a centimeter to the left, it's not going in. You lose the game or whatever. You make a bad pass, one decision, you didn't, you know, do the right thing. Like, how does the emotional content of your life, and we all go through, you know, maybe Gronk's in a good mood every day, but we all go through stuff. We have breakups, we have divorces, we make mistakes in life. You know what I mean? Things that like when you're upset and people, I mean, sometimes I can see it like, you know, in sports, like someone struggling, you know what I mean? Like whether they might just be having a bad night or a bad day or they're angry or whatever, but how do you balance just the trials and tribulations of being a human being with, you know, performing at your best and being there available and present for your teammates and for everybody?
I would say, and this is like not in a negative way, but like it's a lot easier if you have like a I don't care mentality about really anything. So like like you said, you miss a shot or whatever is in the game, you miss a game-winning shot, game-winning layup, game-winning free throw, whatever it is, turnover, like goldfish memory on to the next play. Like that's really just the easiest way to go about pretty much everything. Because if you're striving for perfection on the court, it's probably just going to hurt you in a negative way at the end of the day. So if you just have, that I don't care mentality, and again, it's not like negative, whereas it's like, I don't care that I had a turn because I do care that I threw the ball away, but I'm not going to let it affect the next possession. And I'm not going to let it affect the rest of rest of the game.
It's all within the flow of the context
Exactly.
of being your best.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's like at the end of the day, like I'm able to play basketball, a kid's sport, for a living. So it's like,
Make a lot of money.
yeah, so why am I? You obviously stress about, things that, you want to get better at. You put in all these hours, you want to see improvement. But at the end of the day, like I play for the best organization in basketball, and that there's a lot that, yeah, exactly, So there's a lot that, yeah, exactly. But that there's a lot being here that comes with being a Laker. Like you're going to see all these things, you're going to hear all these things, but at the end of the day, like if I'm comfortable with myself every single night, I set my bar higher than any fan that looks at me sets my bar. So if I'm happy with how I'm playing, then I really don't care, like Jake said, about what anybody else says.
No, I appreciate it. But what I meant more was like when other things are hard. Like we all go through times of anxiety.
Like
and
off the
fear.
court?
Yeah, like off the court when life is difficult, when people die. Life can be heartbreaking. Like able to channel that energy, whether it's anxious or anger or melancholy or sadness, like to deal with that in the context of expressing yourself on a basketball court.
I think for me, like basketball is my safe space. So it's like when I go to the gym, like I forget about everything else. Like you can be, like you said, you could go through real life, stuff. And that's what not a lot of people, the, average, fan thinks about. Like, you have, all these guys in the NBA that have real lives. We're not robots. Like we have family members, you go through relationships and stuff like that. So you can have bad days, but at the end of the day, like if you genuinely love basketball, when you get around basketball, like obviously not that stuff doesn't matter in the time, but you can kind of clear your head and, keep the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a difference between a player that loves basketball and a player that's good at basketball?
1,000%. And there's a lot of people that are really good at basketball.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like someone could have the right body, put in the
natural
work,
ability,
be really good, but not love it. You know what I mean? And I'm just
1,000%.
and sometimes I feel like I can see that in players. You know what I mean? Like they're not. Like, it doesn't mean like having
He's
fun.
just biting his tongue over here. He's trying not to name
No,
names.
you guys are doing a great job.
My wife told me. My wife, she used to work as an intern in the summer league, and she's had to get the players to come do press or whatever. And she was telling me, she was like, there's such a big difference between the players that hit on me and the ones that leave me the fuck alone. But no, she was like, but between the players that love the game and the players that are just like, they're good at it and they can get paid well and it's a good job, but they're not going to do anything. And she was like, the ones that love it are always down to do this stuff. They're always down to go to the kids' hospital. They're always down to help out with the food bank. They're always down to do this and that. She goes, the other ones, she goes, that don't love the game, they're just not as there. They want to get in and out.
A lot of people love what the game provides instead of the game itself. Like people love the access to clubs and, obviously money, jewelry, cars. Like people love that. That's why a lot of people play basketball. And I play basketball because I like basketball.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it is for me with music too.
For sure.
That's why it's like, look, I've been in my band for 45 years. I'm 63 years old, and I still wake up every day. I'm like, God, I got to get better at that diminished scale. If I can do it backwards and I can do it, put two of them together and do it, oh man, that would sound good. And I'll sit there all day trying to articulate this, kind of an academic concept or whatever it is, but because it's a lifelong
For sure.
journey, you know what I mean? And it applies to everything.
Yep.
And that's, I think, the thing that's so exciting to me, like it's a vehicle for human greatness.
Does that exist in music? What we're describing about people who are incredibly gifted but may not love it?
Most people who are gifted, like actually gifted, and I don't really believe in talent. You know what I mean? Sometimes I think the best talent is no talent. Like some people can take real naturally to be very like a natural sense of rhythm or melody or whatever. But sometimes a person who doesn't have any of that has to invent a way to do it because they love it so much. and then they come up with some weird style that's, can be really interesting.
Yeah.
But what was the question?
Well, just does that dynamic, what we're talking about of guys.
Oh, right. Yeah. I think usually, like especially in the rock music world,
Yeah.
a lot of people, like they learn how to do a certain thing. They might have a hit record, but they don't last.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're not going to like put in the work. You could have a hit. Like, look, a long time ago, I could have had my floor seats at the Lakers and be sitting on a beach, eating papayas, smoking weed, going to the game. You know what I mean? But no.
Sounds like a decent life.
Yeah, right.
No, it's great. It's great. And what I thought I wanted.
No, for sure.
But I just love music, and my favorite musicians never stop. Louis Armstrong, the night before he died, he was on stage, like they carried him on and he played because it's just like this coil that's tightly wound inside that you want to unwind it, and like I was saying that thing about playing with those jazz musicians, like they're so good. I aspire, like I'm yearning, I care, I love it. And I get the not caring thing too, but I know that it's like caring and not caring. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to let go. Part of it is fucking up. I make mistakes all the time, but it's like it's in service of,
Doing the right thing.
To that end, we've talked about this a bunch, and you're about to live this. But with you one of your guys' teammates, I feel like is the obvious, the most shining example, LeBron, obviously, of someone who loves the game more than anybody, and it's why he's been able to do this for so long. Are there things you've seen already? Are there things that you've passed on to him about that experience that have sort of shown, outside of his incredible gifts and everything like that, just this desire is why he's in the position that he's in?
Yeah, I haven't really been around him much. I mean, I've played against him a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like you said, the passion for the game. Like there's literally no other reason for him to continue to play basketball. Like, in my opinion, he's the best player to ever touch a basketball. He probably could have retired 6 years ago and people would still say the same thing. So he has enough money, regardless of what he was saying on that podcast the other day. He has enough money.
There's a couple thousand.
He's taken some of my money before, so it's crazy. But no, that is the only reason he's still playing basketball. It's because he loves the grind. He loves the game. He wants to continue to get better, even when you're at that level. There's still things that he thinks he can work on to become a better player. So I think that's the most incredible thing about him is how he conducts himself on and off the court.
The thing I kind of think about with LeBron, and I think about this with a lot of athletes, like especially in sports, like this is somebody who at 13 was on the radar for us as basketball people. Okay. And so to be famous that long, and then the times when it's like, oh, can't believe you said that. I'm like, how hard it is to be that famous for that fucking long and have there's no approval rating that's even attainable to like have this perfect score through all of it. Like and to me, none of that stuff matters nearly as much as who is the basketball guy. And to be that important, to have that many eyes on you, it might not be winning or losing or the camaraderie, but that's going to be like a tough off switch. Like I've had buddies that played in the NHL and they weren't fucking even close to as famous as LeBron. And I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, dude, I'm in a fucking minivan and I'm 42 and I'm waiting to pick up. Like nobody cares. No one cares. And like, I'm picking up my kids and I can't believe my wife did this whole time. And I've been lacing up since 5 years old. And now I'm dropped into this world that I never had to experience. Mm-hmm. And so that I think could be the thing driving anyone that's still good enough. I mean, because what he's doing is just defying science here. But to have that off switch, even if you think you're over it and your body's not responding, to have that off switch where Flea, like, I think there are some similarities, but nobody ever really tells you it's over unless people aren't interested. And you guys are so far past, like you're a part of Americana, and to be in control of a crowd, to have that moment of just the ego fest in the good way of like, I know right now all of these people are paying attention to me that, mere mortals, most of us will never, ever fucking experience. And the difference is unless you just, people get sick of your songs, but if that would have already happened by now for you.
Yeah, for me, it's just about like, I was kind of joking around before about, ego and money and stuff. And look, I like to make money as much as the next guy. But for me, like when I sit in a room and I pick up my instrument, whatever instrument it is, and I start playing, I'm my best self. It's time well spent. It just feels good. got up this morning. I was up at like 5, went and sat at the piano, and I was like playing. And I was like, it feels so good. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Then I have to go shoot my 30 free throws every morning. 27. I got 27.
Hey, that's a good number.
Damn.
I'm trying, man.
I saw
better.
you with Lethal Shooter. I saw the video.
You shoot better than a lot of NBA guys.
That's what I just learned how to shoot right. He had just taught me.
It looked. Hey, look, it was going through the net.
Like,
That's all
well,
that
I had
matters.
this like weird little kid shot my whole life. I never learned to shoot right when I was a kid. And then during the pandemic, I got together with a Lethal Shooter, and he like, left hand, guide hand. Because I always had some weird twisty shot. It would go in sometimes. I did win the 3-point shoot off at the MTV Rocket Jock Celebrity with that shot. So,
Hell yeah.
but I, I love it, man. And that's what I think about too. Do you still like for me, every time I shoot a basketball and it goes in, it's so satisfying.
It's
It's
therapy.
It just feels so good, right? When you see it and the arc and the beauty of it and the fingertips and,
Yeah.
Sound of the net swishing is one of the best.
What's your favorite instrument to play?
Right now the trumpet. I'm
Okay.
really into playing the trumpet, but they're all relative, I mean,
Yeah.
mostly I play the piano, the trumpet, and the bass.
Okay.
How many can you play?
I'll pick up anything and give it a whirl.
Yeah.
But those
I
are
wish
really the
I wish
things.
I could play an instrument. He plays the guitar. Yeah, he's actually pretty good.
Did you ever try?
Me?
Yeah.
My brother tried to teach me a song on the guitar, and I wanted to break it in 30 seconds. So I kindly gave it back to him before I did break it. So
Sounds about right.
my fingers just didn't work the right way, and it was hurting. My finger, I didn't.
It takes practice.
It's not for me.
You got to put in work like anything.
Yeah.
How did you change how you take care of your body because of how physical you are as a performer?
Well, it's, I mean, as you guys know, I'm in my 60s. So, but, constant upkeep. I exercise every day. I can't, my performing like with the Chili Peppers is super, super physical. And something, you guys know about, you're not feeling good. You got to go on. You got to play. And, I've been times it's like, I got the flu, got divorced, and I have anxiety. I'm tripping. I'm like awful. And I was like, I can't get out of bed. And they're like, 50,000 people bought tickets tonight, and I'm in Pittsburgh. And you know what I mean? Like, you get up and play and go, And I wonder, like, as a pro athlete, like, basketball season's long. Like, and it's long. Like, what's the first time? I remember the first time for me being on tour and being like, it's always was so fun. Oh, we get to play tonight. Like, just let me at them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna destroy this shit. And then, the first night was like, I really don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't feel good. I'm tired. I didn't sleep. I want to go home. Like all of that, everything. And you got to go. Like the first time, that's sort of like when you become a professional, I think. Because when it's fun, there's nothing more fun, right? Sure. You're traveling around playing basketball, full arena, whatever it is. Like the first time you get there and you're just like, man, I don't want to get out of this hotel room right now. Like, how is that? Like, what kind of adjustment is that?
It's the same. I mean, it's the same thing. You gotta. There's many days in the season where if we're on the road for 14 days and we're in game 7 of a road trip, you wake up, you don't feel great, and my whole thing was like trick your mind for 3 hours a day that you're okay. Like the rest of the time you can lay down, go to sleep, do whatever you want to do, but like. For those 3 hours that you gotta, go be a professional, you gotta show up, lace your shoes up and go compete. And that's not getting there is the hard part. When you get on the court and the lights are shining, fans are screaming, screw F you, all that's the fun stuff. Yeah. So like when it gets to that point, you're like, okay, like it's time to go. Yeah.
I mean, I gotta think like halfway, 3/4 of the way through a season, everybody's banged up somehow.
For sure.
Everyone's got something.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's usually like right before All-Star break, kind of everyone in the league hits like a wall of let's just make it these last 2-3 weeks right before All-Star break, and then we can kind of chill out a little bit.
For the people,
for the people that are also involved in All-Star break.
Yeah. It used to be 3 days. You guys are
that's crazy. All-Star week is placed at literally the perfect time because it's like, everybody's like, oh, the second half of the season after All-Star break. It's not actually the second half of the season. You got like 30 games left, but it's like, or 25 games left, but like that All-Star break is placed in a perfect spot because some at that time you're like, I want to go home.
Yeah, I could just imagine like, oh, I'm an All-Star, but I wanted to go.
That's what I'm saying for like Bron. Like he usually, obviously he's always in the All-Star game, and Like he gets literally like max 3 days. Max.
Went to the finals 10 million times.
Yeah. That's
And
another
Olympics,
story.
is like there's no break.
Yeah.
You had
that's
that
another
off
story.
season where you just
that was
nonstop and then
fun. I had so much energy going into this season.
How do you have the energy to golf? Golf can take it out of you too.
That's therapy to me. So it's like I don't know what therapy it is to everybody, but like some therapy's literally sitting down talking to somebody about how stuff went that day. Going out and playing golf is like mine. Goes to a completely different place. Phone goes in the cart. Don't talk to anybody. Us two just go out there and golf for 2.5, 3 hours and just forget about life. Honestly,
Nice.
2.5. You guys must be good.
that or we hit it and go pick it up.
I never want to play with you guys now. I just decided.
Yeah, for me, I'm a runner, run marathons and stuff, and that 2 hours into a run, and beautiful up in the hills in Malibu and stuff. My dog, just like the peace morning. I get up when the sun is just barely rising, get out there and run. That's awesome. Like
Do you get
surfing
that on,
too.
Do you get that on the
Surfing's
bike
really
too?
good.
Just zooming around.
Motorcycle?
Yeah.
Well, it can be kind of it's
You gotta pay attention.
It can be stressful. Yeah, super intense.
far more adrenaline.
For sure.
Yeah, but I like it. I mean, I like the fact anything that gets me away from the phone.
Yeah.
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 real.
I mean, because, we're all addicted to the fucking thing, and it's disgusting. It's like, I'm older. I grew up before. I didn't have my first cell phone until I was in my 30s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And life, let me tell you, life was better. Without doubt.
I bet.
Like, it's good to, like, I'll be thinking, like, who was that guy? You know what I mean? There's some quick information or something, but it was better.
I've heard that
I
from
didn't
a
have a
lot of
computer
people.
till I was in my 30s.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't exist. You didn't.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah, I used to like lay down in a field and stare at the sky.
That's
and like,
awesome.
be like, oh wow, I wonder what it's like in China right now. You know what I mean? Like, well, because I was on the other side of the world.
I was in China like 2 weeks ago. So if
How
you
is
want to
it?
know, it's great. I guess. We had a good time. We did Scotland. We golfed in Scotland, and then we did China, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Indonesia.
Awesome.
All for my shoe deal. So it was fun. We had a good time. Shout out to all the Laker fans over there.
Was it a links course in Scotland?
It was the old course, yeah. It was St. Andrews old course. Flew into Edinburgh, and St. Andrews is like an hour from there. So we stayed there for like 3 days, golfed a couple times, and then moved on.
Did you eat haggis?
I actually did. You
did?
like
What is
haggis?
that?
What is that?
It's like blood, like
Yeah, don't ask what it is.
Blood?
It actually
Congealed
is.
blood.
Sometimes you don't want to know.
It's I
gotta eat it.
I tried it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's not bad. And they were like, do you want to know what it is? And I was like, sure. And they told me, and I was like, I'm not eating that again.
yeah, but that's when we eat meat. It's the same shit. No, we were talking earlier about because I like traveling around Africa, like anywhere. I'll always eat anything. You know what I mean? Because I feel like part of the culture, like eyeball, whatever. If they're eating it, I had bugs, a bowl of bugs.
You're better than me.
But in the Philippines, they eat these little. Did you go to Manila?
Yeah. I've
They
been
eat
to Manila a couple times.
the little baby birds. They eat.
I ain't eat none of that.
Yeah, it's like just beyond an egg before it's a bird and has little crunchy bones in it. Like, it's like
Oh, nah.
It's like the fetus, but it's the bones.
Was it good?
And I was like, no, I couldn't eat that one. That's
Okay,
the
I
only
was about
one
to
I was
say-
like,
The fetus.
I'm
I was about
gonna
to say,
puke.
that one's crazy. But
Yeah, it's getting a little wild.
What was your craziest on stage injury?
On stage injury, I've been hit in the head with a bottle. Anthony swinging the mic around, popped me in the head.
A lot of head injuries.
Maybe some
Yeah, head
chafing with that
injuries.
sock.
I used to dive, like be playing and then dive into a somersault, and a couple times I cracked my ribs. But nah, it's more like psychic injuries.
I've kind of like a basketball question, which I'm not like trying to.
basketball.
Yeah, but it's not like it's kind of like a bigger picture thing. But again, I don't like how you guys have known each other because of coming up, right? And he goes in the first round, right? You're trying to make your way in, and now you probably feel like you're at least. I know you well enough to not know you're going to say no to being comfortable, but like you're trying to survive, right? Like you're surviving. How has this relationship helped you kind of understand where you're both currently at? And I think, Jake, I'd start with you.
I mean, yeah, starting off like just knowing about his story and like even his rookie season, like everything that was going on, I kind of feel like we're both underdogs. That's kind of like also who our agents like try and go for, like the underdog type stories. I think that helps a lot. And just seeing how much he succeeded in his first season and then going into his second one, which was my rookie year. I love seeing, you know, the people around me succeed, the people in my circle. And, you know, just being able to see that with him and just once we started having communication, being able to talk and stuff like that, it was just good to be able to see that from him. And then obviously I went through, you know, whatever in Memphis with my first year, going through sickness, injuries, like stuff in college, I never really missed a game ever. And then, you know, my first year I get hit with all these, like just a bunch of bullshit.
And it's
like
scary
literally,
too, because
like,
you're kind of like, hey, I'm a first rounder, but then the way the contracts work is that it's a team option the third year. Those used to all be guaranteed for 4 years. Yeah. So now I feel like the decisions on you guys are made even quicker.
Yeah.
And then everybody was wondering if you were an immigrant because of your age, right? So, but it can get scary like real fucking quick. Whereas I remember talking to like Austin Rivers about this, where he was like, dude, after my first year, I was like, I'm gonna make like
ESP.
He's like, I'm gonna make. What's this?
Well, I just had Austin Rivers in my head because I was sorry to interrupt. I was remembering when Austin got drafted to the Lakers, or not drafted, but picked up.
Right.
I was like, I don't want Austin fucking Rivers. And then I was like, oh, it's Austin Reaves. Oh, the kid from Wichita State. Yeah,
that's your breakout right there.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Like it just crossed my head. I'm going to say that.
I couldn't be happier with any content decision than what you just did right now.
Sorry.
But no, it like we interviewed, I've known Austin a little bit, you know, I knew his dad when I was in Boston, and I asked Austin, I was like, you know, what did you think after your first year? Because like, let's face it, the career has not gone the way that you wanted to. And this is to Rivers. And Rivers is like, bro, I thought I was making like 7 all-star teams. He's like, and then I come into my second year and they're like, yeah, you're coming off the bench. And he's like, what? You know, so there's probably for you, Jake, like a resetting, like you guys already talked about being delusional. You just have to remain delusional, but like kind of this fighting for your NBA life thing that, you know, what better motivation than that?
Yeah. It's like really all about trusting the work that you put in, understanding how many gym hours, how many shots you've put up, and then just going out there and actually doing it. Like you can't really do anything else. Like I always say, control what you can control, and then like just let everything else happen the way it's supposed to happen. All I can control when I'm out there on the court is playing hard, you know, giving effort, communicating, talking, playing with toughness. Like I can't control if I make a shot. If I could, I'd be the best player ever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just go out there and control what I can every night, and then, you know, everything else happens the way it's supposed to happen.
How much does it help though? Like, because it was kind of funny. I was thinking about it because we all know that like Luka bought a pad in town, and then it's like Luka bought a place in Manhattan Beach, right? He bought Sharapova's place, and then I always kind of think about like, hey, dude, you doing anything today? Like neighbor, and it's just to your point earlier. It's not really the way that it works. But it seems like you guys have enough of a relationship, especially with the agent thing and the whole thing. Like, are you going up to El Segundo to put in work? Is that how your summer goes right now, that you're gearing up here?
Yeah. I mean, I see him every day at the facility, if that's what you're saying. Like we're there literally every day, 5 days a week. And sometimes we'll do something else. Whether it's getting the team together. We just did something on the beach yesterday or 2 days ago, or on Friday actually, playing spike ball, just like throwing a football around, whatever it is.
Speaking of Luka, the last pod we did with Duncan was, I think, 4 or 5 days before that trade. So because we did it at the end of January, and then it was it was when you guys were in New York.
Yeah, I mean, I remember exactly where I was at.
So
I remember where I was.
So I want to get your two. I want your perspective as well, but your two perspectives first, from the fan perspective and from the New York Four Seasons.
I want to hear your perspective first.
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Okay. I went over to my manager's house. He was having some kind of a party. Ben Stiller was there. Ben Stiller's a big Knicks fan.
He's told me. I've heard the story from him.
Oh, really? Yeah, no. And
we beat the shit out of the Knicks that night.
No, Ben walked up to me and he's like, you got Luka. And I was like, what? He's like, the Lakers got Luka. I was like, haha. You know? Yeah. Yep. And literally, and he goes, they're trading AD for Luka. And I was like, fuck you. You know, don't fuck with me, Knicks fan. You know what I mean? But then he was like, I'm telling you. And he was really serious. I whipped out my phone. I fell down on the ground. My wife was nearly in tears because she loves AD more than anything in the world. You know, like I fell down on the ground, like face first on the ground, just like I couldn't believe. I mean, I was, look, I love AD, but I thought it was a really good trade. And there's no slight on AD because AD's incredible. I respect him as a man. He's one of a kind player. But getting Luka, like at that age, that kind of player. Yeah. I mean, unbelievable.
For sure.
I was just like, unbelievable. And it's so exciting. As a fan, from the fans' perspective, like anticipating this coming season is really exciting. Yeah. Like, coming into like also, LeBron might very well be his last season. Real excited about Marcus Smart too. I loved him. Like Oklahoma, I loved him. I don't even like Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I basically had the same. We played New York. We beat New York by, I think, 15 or so, pretty comfortably without AD. We were playing well. We get in the locker room after the game. I'm sitting by Brian. We're just talking about bullshit. And I was like, everybody was kind of falling into roles and everybody was bought in. Like I said, we were playing well. And I was like, we're going to be all right. Like, once we get AD back, obviously he's a big piece of what we were going to do at the time. But, like I said, we just beat them. And I was like, we're going to be all right. And he was like, yeah, we're going to be good. And get on the bus and talk to my family. Everybody did media, get on the bus. And we're like 5 minutes away from the hotel. And our group chat starts going crazy. And I was like, and I honestly, I hardly ever look at the group chat, to be honest. Because it's just they talk about whatever. And so, and it was a big.
There's such a delta in age for the possibilities of that chat, too.
The conversations are, it could be about the weather, it's anything. So,
401k or cartoons.
So, I thought, a couple people just texted, because we had a couple guys out, and just texted about a win or whatever, good win, whatever. And the first thing I looked at, I pulled my phone up, AD said they traded me. And if anybody knows AD, I don't know if you know AD very well, he jokes around a lot. So I laughed and I put my phone down. And my phone kept going off. And I was like, what the hell? So I pulled up Instagram and I seen Sham's tweet or post or whatever called Aaron and Reggie. And I was like, what the fuck? And they were like, there's no way this is real. And I was like, all right, cool. Let me know if you hear anything else. Call one of our assistant coaches, Bo. And I was like, what the fuck? And he was like, and that's all he said. And I was like, what? He was like, it's real. And I was like, okay, how do you, why do you know that? And he was like, I'm sitting by Max Christie. And I was like, oh shit, this is actually real. So I was obviously hurt at the time because, had a really good relationship with Max, had a really, really, really good relationship with AD. So, that, aspect of, I was with AD for, 4 years, with Max, I think for 3. So being around them every single day for the year is you wake up the next day. I think Max left at 4 o'clock that morning to go to Dallas. So it's it's just gone. And then we get Luka though. And like you said, incredible player, a generational player. Like you said, nobody thought that he would get traded at that age. Anytime, honestly. So, everything happens for a reason. Like you said, I'm really excited about what we got.
Incredible. But I keep thinking there's got to be shit we don't know. And maybe spill the beans.
I'm gonna let you ask those questions. I'm not.
Because Cuban gives up ownerships in the Mavs, right? He doesn't have percentage anymore. And there's new people in charge. And then they get Luka must have pissed someone off. He must have pissed somebody off.
Well, yeah, I think we know enough of the story is that Nico was obsessed with Kobe.
Yeah.
And he had that relationship with Pelinka forever. And then somehow Pelinka convinced Nico that there was uncertainty on whether or not he'd want to stay a Laker. And so a guy at probably his worst is the 3rd or 4th best player in the world was traded after making 5 first team all NBA by 25, where Hall of Famers may not make it twice. And it's one thing to trade him. It's the other thing to not build a market for that kind of asset.
Yeah.
And so this thing was almost as if Nico thought Pelinka was doing him the favor by keeping it quiet.
Yeah.
When Pelinka's probably in private moments going, I can't fucking believe
Yeah.
we're going to get this guy.
Yeah.
But I'll tell him, like, we've got to move fast when we, don't shop him because I may get cold feet.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that came out about that was just, it's an awful trade. It's the worst trade in the history of the league because of what Luka is at that age, not being disrespectful of AD.
For sure.
Okay. It's an age, it's an injury history thing. These are real discussions, but to not build them, if you're going to do it, if you're sick of Luka's deal for whatever reason, then you have to build a market. And he didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
And the Lakers just continue on this epic run of acquisitions.
Yeah, well, like as a fan, you're always pissed at the GM, right? You're like, why did you do that? Why
They're a little extra pissed.
You fall in love with guys.
Poor
and then
Gallagher
they
has to
leave,
live
and
this all again.
You know what I mean? But all of a sudden, it was like, Rob Pelinka's a genius. The man is a transcendent spiritual giant.
I ain't gonna lie. The first game we played in Dallas after that, I will never in my career of basketball, anything, see anything like that. That was insane.
Are you guys like almost forgetting you're in the game?
No,
players just looking around going, this place is pissed off.
They fouled Luka like the first 2 minutes of the game, and it started. It was, I don't know if it was fire Nico or fuck Nico. Can't remember which one it was, but like it was from tip off to the end of the game, just going crazy. And like every time Luka scored, it was like,
and he went crazy in the first half too.
He went crazy. I think he had 45 or something. So it's like we were like, please go for 7. Like we didn't kill him. Please go kill. I remember I told JJ it was either the start of the 4th or end of the 3rd. We were up like 10. He subbed Luka out. They went on a little run, and I went over to JJ and was like, hey, look, like just put him back in the game. Like he's going to win us the game, and he's going to have 50, and this is going to be great for the team. Like the embrace, like the way he did it, and the way I felt like everybody was, there for it. Like everybody wanted it to happen on our team. It was really good for us.
I remember we did Trey and I did an ep with Najee Marshall a couple weeks afterwards, and even he was like they want to win the game.
Yeah.
But even the Mavs players are like rooting for Luka. They're like it's like a storybook movie where everybody wants the same thing, which is like this dude to just go crazy.
Oh, he did that.
It was a bummer that AD didn't play though.
He did play.
He did play in that game.
He did play.
No, he was injured.
Anyways, if AD, if you watch this, I'm like, you're like 0 for 4 when I guard you.
I thought AD was injured in that game in the first.
No, he didn't play when they came back here.
Okay, maybe that's what it is.
Can you understand as a maybe like at this point one of the sort of preeminent Laker fans? If you were to take 5 steps back, can you understand why Luka ending up on the Lakers pisses off the fans of every other team?
Oh yeah, I sit next to Jimmy Goldstein at the games, and Jimmy Goldstein, he hates the Lakers.
Really?
Yeah, do you guys know that? He roots for the other team at every game, and I'm saying, Jimmy, what the fuck, man?
I didn't know that.
He hates the Lakers.
I didn't know. Interesting.
Yeah, and the reason he hates the Lakers is he's from Wisconsin, and when Kareem left the Bucks to come to LA, he was so bitter, and since then, he goes, it's not fair. All the players want to come to LA. All the best players want to come because they get the best press, they have the best weather, they all the reasons, and he's bitter about it, and he's super angry. And I realize that sentiment is commonplace. And I've been, in many an argument. I almost got in a fight in the Boston airport one time when I flew out.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
No, guys surrounded me, man. It was when the Lakers. It was before your days, but when it was 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, 2010 game.
Well, we won
5, and the Lakers went down 3-2. No. I guess it was 2-2. I can't remember. They came back and won 6 and 7 and 1.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Came back.
Whatever happened, they won a championship that year.
Oh yeah, it was good.
Exactly.
It was good. It was.
What was the fight?
All these guys who just I was all Lakered out, and they came up and they were just sweating me hard, and I was just like, go Lakers. And they were saying, well, remember when you had the confetti in the game, the confetti game, and you couldn't release the confetti? And I was just like, the Celtics sucked. The Lakers didn't go home, win game 6 and game 7. And I sat there in a box with Michelle Obama in game 7 and watched the Lakers win.
That's crazy.
I'm losing my mind.
Did they know it was Flea though?
I have no idea. I was in a fury.
Boston
didn't care.
fans.
I
They
was,
didn't
no, it
care.
was like I had flown the red eye to go see the game. I was just like living it. I was,
So since you hate Boston, how
yeah.
how bad does it hurt you that they have one more championship than us?
yeah, I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like it. It's repugnant.
Okay.
But I have to say that, and this is a hard thing for me to say, this is the least hateable Boston team of all time because I've always hated the Celtics, but I can't, like when Tatum showed up with the Kobe armband, it really kind of melted my heart a little bit.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Do any of the Minnesota titles top the crack 5?
Wait, what about them? You're not going to try to take away the Minnesota titles, are you? Those
I'm
are
from
Laker
Mass. I
titles.
let it go long enough. I think I've really.
the airport, by the way.
I was at that game.
Boston fan anymore.
Those are Laker titles. Yeah, that's like saying like, oh, the 60s, the Celtics titles don't count because it was the 60s. It was a different league.
What year? You got season tickets in 88?
No, I haven't had. I got season tickets in like 98, 99 was the first time I could afford them.
Wait.
Yeah.
After the 91 album, you still couldn't afford Lakers
No, I
tickets?
probably could have.
Yeah, I would think so. It's like the biggest
it was I was like, I spent it all on a house. I got a house. I didn't really have,
you go.
afford it yet.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get the courtsides till like 5 years ago. Yeah.
Now it's like
I had to play a lot of gigs, make a lot of records.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a childhood dream.
It's all worth it.
Like Sonic wants to use Under the Bridge. Yeah. It's been 30 years. Fuck it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a favorite on court Kobe moment?
So many. One of the things I loved about Kobe so much was all of them. And when you say all of them, it's just that you see, like, I watch every game. Like, I moved to LA in 1972. I've like pretty much watched every single. It wasn't on TV back then, but watched every game. I used to go on tour before the computer. I used to have someone put the phone up against the TV and call for the TV and sit there and listen on the phone. Like, I'm hardcore. But Kobe, and I don't know if I've seen this with any other player, and I'm not sure. It might be that I missed it, but he showed up every single night, and I never had an off night. Sure, he had bad nights when he wasn't hitting it or whatever, but I never saw him space out. I never saw him not try. I never saw him not give everything he had every second he was on the basketball court. And that's really the thing, like the entirety of that incredible. That kind of diligence and work ethic and dedication and love, focus. You just don't see it.
Favorite Kobe story?
His favorite moment just watching growing up.
I mean, it's hard to top his last game. I was in my room, and it's late because it's 2 hours behind. I think it was my senior year of high school. It was 16, right? Yeah, 2016. Yeah. So I was senior in high school, and I was watching the game, and I was losing my shit. Like, I was up, jumping around, going crazy. It's probably 11:45, 12 at night. So everybody in the house is asleep. And I guess I woke my mom up, and she popped her head in the door and was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I was just like, "Shut up and get out of my room." Because she looked at the TV and was like, "Oh, okay, I get it." But yeah, I mean, I think like you said, like just his, mentality towards the game, like you said, every possession mattered. He was a winner at the end of the day, and that's what you want in a basketball player.
I picked the anthem in his last game.
That's incredible.
He asked me to do it.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
That's a crazy.
I didn't know that.
That's awesome.
Career highlight.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is I played the anthem, went and sat in my seat, watched the first half, and then I had a fundraiser. I had committed to play some charity with the band and had to leave at halftime to go play a gig. So I saw the first half, and he really went off in the second half.
He did go off.
That's
in the
your.
second half.
That's the being
Is
professional.
that like top three things you
I
ever got to do?
What's that?
Is that like top three things you ever got to do though?
Play that anthem?
Yeah, like him asking you to.
Yeah, it was really. I mean, he was always really nice to me. Always. I mean, I can't say that I knew him well at all. It was just like little conversations, but always took time. Hey, how you doing? Appreciate you. But write a thing to me on a picture, like not just sign.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask for it. I would, But yeah, just nice person.
Do people ever talk shit to you on the floor? Have you ever gotten any back and forth with players on other teams?
Chris Paul. Chris Paul. I kind of had it coming.
Not Chris Paul. He would never talk shit to anybody.
No, I kind of had it coming.
Watch it.
Because I used to heckle like crazy.
Yeah.
And when there was like a downtime for the Lakers. The Lakers were not doing well at all. And I think, Blake Griffin was at the free throw line or something. I can't remember. And I was yelling out, I was like, you could win 20 championships and this is still going to be a Lakers town. Fuck the Clippers. Like I think that was my line. Like, if I'm always, hate you.
Yeah.
And he came up to me, like flexed on me at my seat, like came to my seat, got in my face. And it's always like, there's like this kind of invisible wall between the players. Yeah, he broke the wall. And he got right up in my face and he was like, did some weird reverse psychology trip on me. He was like, yeah, there always will be a Lakers town. It's always been the Lakers town. What do you think about that?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but I was just like, I was like,
Can't
deer
say
in the headlights. Yeah.
You got me
totally
there.
crazy.
That's funny.
It's such a
Yeah,
weird
that'd be
comeback, but it's like unexpected.
Yeah, it was
it's-
unexpected.
right,
No, normally I would have some like witty repartee, but I didn't have shit. I was just like, another time, speaking of AD, I was like, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago or something. My wife was at All Star. She makes she designs shoes, she makes Jordans and stuff. Anyway, she was there and she met AD and they like hit it off. And she said, my husband really loves you. He's a really big fan. He was like, oh, cool. He goes, let's trick him. Let's go next time y'all at the game. He goes, where do you sit? And he was like, we sit right at the base of the shoes. He's like, oh yeah, I know. Yeah. He said, next time we go to the game, I'm going to come up to you and pretend like you and I have been friends for like 20 years, that we're such close friends, just to freak him out. She's like, okay. And lo and behold, the next day I'm sitting there, all excited for the game. But every time I get down there, still I'm like, I can't believe I get to sit here and watch these guys. And he comes up, he's like, Mel, I miss you. We got to hang out. We haven't spent enough time together. Maybe all the great times. I'm just like, yeah. And he did it. And, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was nice. He's nice.
I love that you're just torturing the Clippers. Poor Clippers. Like of all the.
Oh, yeah.
They don't.
Who do you not like more, the Clippers or the?
Well, it's close. Clippers.
Celtics?
I had some Kings hatred for a while, but that was like there was that Kings rivalry, the Chris Webber team. Anyways, that was time. Like I had a Sacramento Queens, t-shirt I used to wear. But Celtics and Clippers are pretty much perennial teams to hate. I used to kind of like the Clippers. Like I like the Darius Smiles, Ken Norman, those teams, Gary Grant. I like those guys. But when they got good and started talking shit, Elton Brand, that's when I started to hate them.
You was like, nah.
Then they started like beating us all the time, and then I got us, right? I'm a fan. But
For sure.
But yeah, then I started getting real mad and started hating them. And it's actually like kind of hurt friendships that I have. Like people in LA, like we love the Clippers. Yeah.
Oh, because you were.
I'm a child about this. I feel like in every aspect of my life, I need to be an adult. Like I'm married, I have a career, business. I have 3 kids. I like all these things where I need to be a mature, responsible, reasonable human being.
But not then.
As a basketball fan, no, I get to act like an insane 2-year-old. And soon you put on that Laker uniform, I love you. Yeah.
Who's on your level as a fan?
Lots of people love the Lakers.
Well, just if you got to do like a,
I just like
if you got, because I feel like Jack doesn't go to the game so much anymore. I feel like Lou Adler still goes, but who's even in the crew? Who's the
who's
who's
not
not
see at the games?
not
a
like
lot?
a famous person because they have some movie. Like you actually are like you're a real fan.
Yeah, even though Jimmy doesn't love he doesn't like the Lakers, he's against the Lakers.
That's crazy.
He really
That
loves
is crazy to know.
I appreciate
That's
that he loves-
crazy.
That's
No,
crazy.
he does.
That's crazy.
Don't let him snowball you, man. He hates the Lakers. He always when the Lakers are losing, he goes. Yeah, and I'm like, fuck you, Jimmy. Yeah, he's like the strangest but most lovable man.
Sick house.
What's that?
His house he probably has the nicest house in LA.
Yeah, is that cool?
That Big Lebowski house.
right? A lot.
Yeah.
I ended up at a late night with him in Boston once.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't hit it off great. It was during the 08 finals.
Yeah.
And I was with some NBA guys. And then the way the story goes, the quickest version of it is that we were with somebody and somehow Tom Brady came up. So then all of these girls we were with thought we were going to Tom Brady's condo for a late night. And boy, were they disappointed because it wasn't Tom Brady's condo and he wasn't there because it wasn't his fucking condo. So then it was like a couple guys in the Revolution and then one of my guys, it was a friend, and then Jimmy was there. And I was kind of just like, what's your deal, man? Like, not a negative, but again, the Boston thing was probably
so they
coming
thought
out.
They were going to Tom Brady's condo, and they ended up with you and
Jimmy Goldstein, yeah, and a couple other guys.
That's a win, right? I thought that was a win.
Back then, for me, that's not a win for anybody. Yeah, but I just anybody like Tommy knows, like I'm just very straightforward, and it's not like to be a dick or anything. But I think there was a guy in the Revolution. I was like, "What do you guys pull in a season?" and he's like, "That's kind of a fucked up question." I was like, "Well, I can find it on my phone in 30 seconds." I'm like, "I'm just making conversation."
Like,
you know,
the
and he's
worst
like,
tag.
right. And then he was like, what do you make? And I was like, oh my God, I'm fucking broke. I'm making like I'm at 38 grand a year right now, filling on this radio station. Things are pretty bad for me personally. Yeah. But I have aspirations. And so not a follow-up. So Jimmy was there, and I just couldn't. I was like, all right, on to you now. I'm like, what's your deal? I was like, were you a dentist or something? And he was like, no. He didn't like me at all. But I couldn't figure it out. He's like, well, a lot of my money was architecture early. I was like, well, look, I mean, you fucking get to walk around in the tunnels without even a credential, doing something right. Just try to, I'm just a young guy trying to make it happen.
Yeah.
What can you teach me? But it was like,
persistence,
again,
man.
Yeah. I was being persistent that night.
I just want to know it didn't win you that night.
Yeah, what excuse the girls got made to leave like 4 minutes? Like when they got to the condo,
they were like, "We're here now," and then. I remember the guy whose house it was threw on Dre Day on DVD, like on 11, and it was even worse. It was like this party. So we were having there was so much hope 30 minutes ago. Walking over to this place,
They didn't stick around for long.
It was like a Boston SNL skit.
You know what? It made it even worse. I remember I was like, because I was pretty broke, and then I was like, oh, I got to get out of here. And then I think I was like, do you have any booze? And he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I got something going on. I was like, do you have any booze? And he was like, yeah, I think there's like a peach schnapps in the freezer. I was like, that'll work. I can't believe I just told the rest of that story.
Did you guys have rival bands? Like if someone won a Grammy or they were like headlining something?
Some,
Toad
once
the
in a
Wet
while, there'd be
Sprocket.
like thing like, they sold out the blah, blah, blah. Really? They sold out 3 nights? Yeah, but no, not really. No, not really. One time there's this English band called Primal Scream. And this was, I don't know, like 20 years ago. We're playing this bull ring in Madrid. And our dressing rooms had no roofs. They were like set up in the bull ring, like kind of like, around. They set up these like curtains with the poles, we're just sitting in there waiting to play. We have these like little amps, little drum pads. And we warm up before we play. We're kind of jamming, getting ready. And they say, hey, we're about to go on. They yell over there, hey, we're about to go on, mate. And we're like, they're kind of drunk. And can you not make noise? And we're like, okay, cool. So we don't play. They go on stage. We start playing. They get off stage, you're playing. And then they're like, you got to stop. We're like, no, fuck you. We're warming up now. We're getting ready. Next thing you know, like a piece of fruit comes flying over, hits my drummer in the head. And it was like, oh, it's on. Run out there. They run out there. People are holding guitars like that, getting ready to swing. Some roadie like gets into it, like my singer, they start swinging. It's like kind of brawl breaks out. It never got full on. It got like, no one that really wanted to get hurt. You know what I mean? But that was one of the closest, the fight with Primal Scream.
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
Boston Airport vibes.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you guys something. One thing about music, like, we do it ourselves. We're in charge of ourselves. We do it. No one can really tell you what to do. And we have producers, which I guess is kind of like a coach. But what's it like to get, and this is more to you and to you too, because I'm sure something you live with, like to get traded. Like you set up, you give your part of a team, you wear the uniform, you give your heart to this thing.
You're speaking something into existence.
You know something, Flea? Is this for both guys?
Here's the reveal. Fuck, I'm trading.
80 comes upstairs to tell you.
I heard they've been talking about
got me.
Andrew Wiggins. No, I read about it every day before I go to bed. I like Google Lakers, and it's all bullshit. Until something real happens. But like dealing with that, like I can't even imagine. Like I thought about it, like I said, my wife was friends with AD. Like she was in tears. Like he's gonna move. His kids are in school. She's friends with his wife. Like you know what I mean? Like they're like that's your life, your personal life being like severely affected by this random thing that you have no control over.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a shock. They declined my option, so I figured I was going to get traded. So it's not like I was surprised or anything.
Yeah.
But it was the last day of the trade deadline. I think it ended at like 2 or something, and like it was getting near the end. So I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to stay in Memphis. Maybe they'll keep me around, whatever. And then I got a call like literally an hour and a half before, and they're like, well, you're going to Sacramento. They want you there tonight, 7:00, like plane ride. I was like, all right, like I got to pack my things. Couldn't really bring anything outside, 2 suitcases. And I literally lived out of a hotel my whole time in Sacramento.
Wow. And how was that just one season in Sacramento?
I mean, I was there for 20 games. Like,
20 games.
Yeah, I was there for the last half of the last 30 games of the season, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope your Laker career goes for 20 years.
I do too. I love it here. So it's
Same.
yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I just can't. That's the one part of like y'all's job. I mean, I'm just like, that's crazy.
It's definitely tougher, obviously, if you have like a family, like if you have kids and you've bought a house. But like I was renting in Memphis. I was still on my rookie contract. Girlfriend wasn't living with me, so it's like, I mean, it wasn't like hard in that aspect. I didn't have kids to move.
Yeah.
She living with you now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
LA,
Like, I'll move to LA.
He's gonna do the right thing.
smart
Get
woman.
married.
No to Memphis, no to Sacramento. We're doing long distance.
Sacramento definitely
Yeah,
long
this
distance.
weekend.
This weekend you're getting married.
This weekend. Yeah.
Congratulations. That's incredible.
Wow.
Appreciate it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Late
Yeah.
invite.
Huh?
Late invite.
Yeah, getting engaged was like the first thing on my to-do list this offseason. So went
That's
out
so
to
exciting. You get the ring together and everything?
Yep. Yeah, no, yeah. All that's been handled, yeah.
That's incredible.
exciting.
Where are you going to do that?
We'll do it
Address.
in like Laguna Beach. Yeah, we'll be out in like Laguna Beach.
Wow.
Which hotel and what time?
Where?
Four seasons?
If you crash the wedding, that's one of the few people. I'm not. It's like hopefully it doesn't happen.
But I don't think you could be truly upset if that happened.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think it's a win for everyone involved.
Well, I got to say, like, as a fan, we're all excited that you got signed to the Lakers.
Yeah.
We all read that. We're like, yes, we need that. We need that shooting wing.
I'm very excited to be here. I've been here the last like month and a half, 2 months, and just been around the coaches, been around the guys. We've been competing our ass off every day.
Yeah.
So it's been really good to just be here and be around everyone.
You
I
have a
was playing
JJ story yet?
He ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah. Austin said that a couple times. I do understand
He knows
what
JJ
what is
really
to
well.
come.
Yeah. He's a psychopath.
Let's check back in 4 months.
I'll have a story. I'll have a story.
We'll check back in a week. Training camp starts in a week.
Let's wait till the game starts.
JJ will spaz out in a week.
What about when
love
LeBron
you,
stays
brother.
low and then blames you?
My fault.
Sorry, Mr. LeBron.
My fault.
It's still
The
my
thing
favorite.
is, though, I will give him credit for,
Yeah.
he at least talks when he's low, man. So
Yeah.
you can figure it out.
But
So-
it's usually like, are you serious? I'm supposed to go back out there. See, now I'm making it negative, and I don't want to do that.
No,
You're his
it's fine.
teammates. Yeah. I just remember a specific play with Austin last year where I was dying laughing because then you guys started swearing at each other when you're inbounding the ball to each other.
But that's also a good thing about him. You can go back at him. I remember my rookie year, something happened and he was on my ass about something, and we have the iPad behind the bench, and I walk over to the iPad and I'm like, hey, I know I didn't fuck up, but can I see and I don't even think I was anywhere in the wrong. And I was like, yo, I just tapped him on the shoulder and was like, hey, this is what happened. And he was, oh, that's my bad. Like, my mistake. So you can go back at him. We've had a couple instances of where, we've went at each other. My grandma one day was so mad at him. She was like, if he yells at you like that one more time. I was like, Mama, it's okay. Like, your kids have yelled, or your my mother, your daughter has yelled at me way worse than that. So it's fun. It's fun.
You grew up in Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
Little Rock?
Small town, like an hour 15 of Little Rock.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then you went to Wichita State and somewhere else too, right?
Went to Wichita State, then Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yep.
What was it like coming to LA and like all of a sudden, like culturally being an MBA in Los Angeles?
Yeah, I had never been to LA before. I left the day after the draft, which obviously I didn't get drafted. We signed the two-way that night, and I was in LA the next day. I didn't know what to expect. Was kind of terrified, and then I got here, and I don't want to leave. I love it out here.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I've been here since 1972, and I have a love-hate relationship with it.
Weather's great. Obviously, traffic sucks, but for what I want to do, I tell people all the time, LA is what you make it. Like, you can obviously get caught up in all the, nightlife, whatever, you have anything you can do out here, and everything's at, the tip of your fingers. So you can do anything, but what I like to do, I'm one of three places. I'm either in the gym, at the golf course, or my house. So
no water sports. You live by the ocean.
I live a couple blocks, and
surfing.
I don't really,
surfing.
Nah, I wouldn't say I'm scared of the water, but I'm not like going out there swimming. I don't really like the beach either. I'm too pale for that. I get burnt. Yeah. So
also, don't you think, son? You guys sort of mentioned this before, but I mean, this goes without saying with the Lakers, but it's LA in general. The stakes with a fan base like this, like, even if you're playing bad and you're getting shit and everyone wants to kill you, it's like, people care, and that doesn't exist everywhere
for sure.
And so just that the gift of being able to be a part of something like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's it's obviously, in my opinion, the best organization in basketball, if not all of sports, and that comes with a big responsibility to not just win games, but go try to win championships. That's what this organization has done for forever. So that's what they expect, and our job is to go do that. And if we're not doing that, I feel like the fans have a right to be upset.
I get upset.
Understandable. How many times have you cussed me on the TV?
Never.
Oh, okay.
Never.
We're gonna find this.
Never. No, actually, I don't get upset with players that much. Like, I just always want players to do good.
For sure.
I'm never there's been a few Lakers players I haven't liked over the years, but very few. Most everybody I really, really like. Like, I just want everybody to do good. And I'm not like there are fans, there's a different kind of fan that's always pissed at somebody. Like, I just want guys to do good. For me, I get more mad at personnel decisions, like when the Jim Buss was in charge, and there were things that happened. And when Magic was in charge, I just let Zubats go for nothing. And a few moves like that, that gets me mad. When I see Zubats, I'm like, God, I'm just Do you
remember what that trade was? I mean, I know what it is.
No, I can't remember. What was it?
Mike Muscala.
Yeah.
They needed shooting.
Yeah. That one really bothers Laker fans, I think.
That one hurts.
Yeah, that one really bothered me.
It's seeing what Zoo does now.
Zoo's cold.
Yeah,
Zoo's great. But
He's
Laker
good.
fans, if you Laker fans hold that one up with they're yeah, well, we got Luka, but we gave up Zoo to get Muscala. And it's it's not the same.
Nah, Zubac's really, really good.
He is really, really good.
He's in the mix down here. He's a South Bay guy, isn't he?
I don't know Zubac. I don't know if I've ever said a word to Zubac.
Mozgov is sometimes shooting around. He was working out.
Yeah, he didn't have a shining Laker career.
No, I didn't mean to bring this on a sour note, Flea.
That's one of the few.
He immediately recalled.
And who was I'm spacing on his name right now because I'm like an old fart, but who was the African player that was on Chicago forever? Yeah, Luol Deng.
Yeah.
We got Luol Deng and paid all this money for him, and he never played.
I think he got off the books 3 years ago.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Where as a fan, you're just what? Put me in charge. Please, everybody thinks they're a better GM.
I will say Luol Deng was cold in Chicago.
Well, he was incredible.
I like Luol Deng.
I remember at one point, when Kobe, did the famous trade me to the moon. I don't care. Where do you want to go? I don't care. Pluto. I think he said. He was really pissed. It was a few years after Shaq left.
It was 2006.
Yeah, and they tried at one point, I think, to trade him to Chicago for Luol Deng.
Remember what he said, though?
Chicago said no.
No, but Kobe was I don't want you to trade all the good players for me because I don't want the team to stink when I get there. It's well, dude,
sounds
you
about right.
want to be traded and we're supposed to get ripped off.
Yeah, no, and Jerry Buss said the thing about the diamonds. You can't cut that. If you have a big diamond, you can't cut it in little pieces. I'm not going to trade you. Yeah, but one thing, the Lakers have new ownership. And Mark Walter, that's his name, right? Mm-hmm. And with the Dodgers, they've been incredible. And I even like noticed like in the draft, like all of a sudden just spending that money going up in a draft, you got to do Thero. Is that how you say his name? Is that right?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, but I mean, he looks good. Like he looks like he could actually be a really productive player.
He was on our team today in pickup, and I told him before, I was like, I want you to make the game as nasty as possible. Like run somebody over.
He does.
Go get offensive rebounds. He's so athletic. Like he's almost like, if there's a thing of too athletic, he's almost that. So like, but he was incredible today.
You just got to be able to channel the athleticism.
For sure.
Has Luka been back?
Nah, I haven't seen him.
Did you watch the Euro stuff?
A little bit here and there.
He's skinny.
He looked like he was moving a lot different than he was already.
He was frying.
Yeah, he's killing everyone.
He was killing.
Can I ask you about like the Luka thing where it's not quickness, and this is the stuff before the draft that like hurt him, because it's hard sometimes visually. You're like, okay, he's killing these grown men at the second best level of basketball in the world. Like, you're not supposed to be this already at what he's doing. But then, you get to that draft thing and you're like, all right, is he actually not that quick? And what you realize is that being close to him as a defender is like the worst thing ever. So he doesn't drive for clearance. He drives for contact, and then he controls you that whole time. That's a really hard thing to be able to do, but his movement is so good at that size, and the hips and the shoulder. What is that like as a defender, knowing like, I'm never going to lose track of him, but he kind of has me. It's such a different style.
It almost makes it worse. Like,
right,
he knows
like
you're going to be in
helpless.
front of him, and you just still can't stop him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
can you explain what that's like when you get stuck with him in practice?
I've been on the opposing team and played against him and guarded him, and it's like you're describing. Like, you stay in front of him, but he's really good at using his body and finding angles, and then he does his little push cross step back between the legs. He's got a high release, so it's hard to get a contest off. It's hard to guard him without fouling. Like, he makes obviously elite shots. I've always said, when people ask me the question of like, who's been, the toughest person you've had to guard in the NBA, like, he's always been like a top 2 answer for me. Like, it's not fun to guard him, really.
He's strong.
Yeah.
He's really strong. Like, you look at, he's bigger than you think for a lot of people. Like, he's 6'8", like, and his ability to stop and go, like, or really stop. Like, he's not the quickest person in the world, but like, when he gets to his spot, like, he's not moving that fast, but you're thinking you got to move with him. His ability to stop and be on balance is like one of one. And then the bumps and shot fakes, like, I've seen him, he'll be, messing around with the coaches, and they'll be guarding him in like the mid post or something, and he'll hit him with a move. And I was talking about Bo earlier. He hit Bo with a move, shot fake, and like Bo got off his feet and he like stepped through, and Bo was like, bro, my ribs were fucked up. He was like, and this is like, I could only imagine if he like actually tried to go through me. So it's like his strength is very underrated. And then basketball IQ. It's obviously like, when you're able to make any pass in basketball, that makes you harder to guard as a scorer.
It seems like watching him that he's almost like, where he's going to go. He's like, I'm going to take you right down there, then I'm going to put it in your face. Yeah. Like, I'm going to push you off, I'm going to step back, or I'm going to shoot the 3, or I'm going to fake the 3 and I'm going to drive. But are you ready? Because I'm going to do it now. Fuck you. Yeah. Like, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The scouting report is obvious. It's tough because there's so much he can do on a basketball court. But like you said, what he does is what he like. He's not doing different things. Like, we were talking about Lou Will before this started. Like, you knew what Lou Will was going to do, and you still could barely guard him.
Yeah, and he wasn't big, and he's not big.
Comparing
like
those 2, by the way.
Lou's like 6'3", something like that. Yeah. Like, against much bigger guys, you see him like fade away. That fade away, awesome. Who's your favorite player of all time? Kobe. And Kobe's your favorite. Yeah. And sometimes your favorite. Kobe's one of the best of all time too. It's not always, for me, it's not always the best. Just like players. Sure.
I was a huge Kobe fan, but other than that, like, there's a couple. I love Joe Ingles. Yeah. Like,
Jingle Juice.
Yeah, I told him that one day. I think it was last year. He was running out on the court.
Only a few people know it.
Really.
It's debatable.
He was running out on the court, and I stopped him, and I don't know him at all until this past year.
Call him
And
Jingle Juice.
I was like,
Appreciate
yo,
it.
I just wanted to let you know, like, you were one of my favorite players, ever.
Pick and roll master.
He was so cold. Like,
Did he talk
he
shit
was-
to you, or was he nice?
no, he was cool. Like, he was like, brother, you're much better than I was ever. But he was like, I appreciate it though. So anytime I seen him, we would talk a little bit. He was
Rarely
cool.
do you tell another NBA player, I just love your game. Model might be like, what
Nah,
the
for
fuck?
sure. I know.
What's wrong with
well,
you?
That was when in the draft, like my comp, people would ask me like, "Well, who you think you play like?" And everybody's always like, "Oh, I'm fucking Jordan or LeBron," and I'm like, "Y'all are all stupid." So I would just be like, I play like Joe.
Wait a minute,
Ingles."
though. Didn't you do that in the pre-draft process?
What?
Were you comparing yourselves to you're like, I'm a hybrid Kobe?
I
Kate?
compared myself to Gordon Hayward.
You did.
Yeah.
Well, it was just because they're both white.
Well, I was gonna say you
White,
guys.
lanky,
You also get
from
that.
Indiana.
Nothing would be
Yeah, just
funnier than
dumb.
if you were just like I'm like Quincy Avery.
Yeah, say someone random. That's what I did with Joe Ingles. But Joe Ingles is actually cold, so and I'll stand by that.
Gordon Hayward, I feel like is a not
Hayward.
random. He was insanely good, and I
I
loved
think the
watching
indie,
him.
the
but-
indie thing is also a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how they'll associate that because of that.
Yeah.
Is that what you say? He's your favorite player, like coming up?
I probably grew up watching him the most because I watched him at Butler, then early on in his Jazz career.
I mean,
Like,
did
he
Butler
was
run that
filthy at
Butler run?
Utah.
insanely
Yeah,
good.
he was insane.
Did that Butler run? Did they go to the finals? Did they?
Yep.
Yeah,
And
he
missed that
he
half
almost
court.
made- he almost
missed
made
half
that.
court, went off the
Remember,
backboard.
Kay had them miss the free throw on purpose, which was one of the dumbest single things I've ever seen a
Yeah.
team do.
They were up 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he almost made the half quarter.
Because,
I
yeah.
wish it would have went in.
I mean, it's the kind of thing where you're like,
Might alter
"Well, I
his career."
can't believe you guys just had him miss the free throw on purpose.
Yeah, it was.
And
I don't know why you would ever do that.
and it banked off and then hit the front of the rim and went up. Wild.
So I guess you guys are all dying to know my favorite player, right? No, I'm just kidding.
If you could trade Anthony for any other lead singer, who would you trade him for?
That's crazy. That's my brother. I love him.
Well, I mean, we're just hanging out. Like Maynard's pretty good. Huh?
All right, thank you guys. We'll do it. We'll do a check. We'll do this again. This was fun.
For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Definitely.
Nice to meet both
Appreciate
you guys.
y'all. Yeah, for
Hopefully.
sure.